This is an argument in favor of the Kalam cosmological argument by Katie Webster and Scott Raymond. The Kalam cosmological argument is one of the most discussed philosophical arguments in favor of God's existence, and we will explore why this argument is compelling and how it addresses objections. What the argument is and where it comes from. The Kalam cosmological argument has three main points. Everything that begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist, and since the universe began to exist, the universe has a cause. This argument is focused on the beginning of the universe, the existence of God, and what God's purpose is, and why the universe exists because of Him. The universe couldn't have come from nothing, because nothing has no properties, no potential, and no power. If space and time themselves had a beginning, then the cause must be spaceless, timeless, immaterial, and powerful. What do all of these qualities describe? God. Our thesis statement is as follows. The Kalam cosmological argument provides rational reasoning and logic behind the idea that there is a powerful and timeless creator of the universe. We will be arguing in favor of the Kalam cosmological argument by breaking down each step of the argument, explaining how everything comes from something, but God is timeless, powerful, and immaterial, and that the universe has to start at some point or else we would not be present at this moment. Common objections to this argument that we will refute include: who created God if everything has to have a creator? Is the universe eternal and unchanging? And the quantum mechanics argument. Whatever begins to exist has a cause. Everything that we see in the universe has a cause, and nothing comes into existence without a reason. If things could come from nothing, why don't we see cars popping into existence? If things were able to come out of nothing, then the universe would be filled with useless objects. Thanks to the principle of sufficient reason, we know that there is a reason for everything that exists. The philosopher Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz has formed a great analogy to go about looking at this idea when he said, imagine that your bicycle keeps dropping its chain. Annoyed, you take it to a bike shop to determine the cause in order to fix the problem. The mechanic informs you that the problem cannot be fixed because there is no reason why your bike drops its chain. It just does. It's not that the cause of the chain dropping has been determined. It's just that there is no cause why this is happening. This same reasoning can be applied to the universe. If it began to exist, then it must have a cause. The universe began to exist. If there was no starting point, then there would be no current moment that we live in. If there was an infinite past, how would we get to the time we are in now? There has to be a starting point to the universe, or else time would stretch backwards forever. If the past were infinite, we would be stuck in the infinite regress, and we would never arrive to today. It would be like trying to count down from infinity and expecting to reach zero. Hilbert's hotel example provides an easier way to imagine this scenario. Imagine a hotel has an actually infinite set of rooms and is also full. Now, imagine an infinite many more guests come to the hotel. The hotel can make room for them. This seems absurd. That's the point. Actual infinities lead to contradictions. The universe has a cause. If it's true that whatever begins to exist has a cause, and that the universe began to exist, then it would only make sense that the universe has a cause. However, the universe could not have caused itself or come from nothing. So, it had to be created. And if the universe was created, it had to be created by something timeless, immaterial, powerful, and personal. These qualities fit the description of God. He is not just a force, but He is a rational, personal being who freely chose to create the universe. Objections to the Kalam argument include the following. Who caused God? If everything needs a cause, why not God? The M theory is a theory of everything that unifies all constants in the universe, denying the existence of God entirely. Could the universe be eternal? Concepts like the steady state theory, which states that the universe has no beginning or end and remains constant over time, suggest an eternal and unchanging universe. Quantum mechanics and causality. Quantum mechanics removes the need for God by explaining the origins of the universe without a divine initiator. Some argue that quantum events happen without any cause at all, so maybe the universe did too. How do we respond to these objections? God is uncaused and necessary. God is the fundamental and non-contingent source and the ultimate explanation for why anything exists at all. The argument only applies to things that begin to exist. Well, God didn't begin to exist. He is eternal. Infinite past is logically impossible. An actual infinity can't exist, meaning the universe must have a beginning, and the beginning must be God. Quantum events still presuppose a framework. The uncertainty and potentiality in quantum mechanics provides a space for divine action. Quantum mechanics doesn't eliminate causality, it operates within a framework of laws. Even quantum events require conditions to occur. It makes sense to ask the question, does the beginning of the universe point to God? Well, the universe began to exist, which would require a cause. What would be the best explanation of this cause? A transcendent creator, also known as God. There's strong reason to believe that the creator of the universe is God, as he is the necessary and perfect being that explains how the universe came to exist. The Kalam argument doesn't prove every detail about God, but it does strongly support theism, meaning that since the universe exists, then the best explanation must be a God who is actively involved through divine intervention. It gives us a reason to believe that the universe is not a random accident, but the result of a purposeful act. Viewers are works cited. Thank you for watching and listening to our argument in favor of the Kalam cosmological argument.